Hello, it is March the 20th and I'm Jagjit welcoming you all to the 38th episode of Weekly Takes from New York. Yes, it is Saturday and I have been busy on weekends all through this month as my brother-in-law is here from India and I had to take him around. I'll be sharing with you pictures of his visits on the East Coast later in this show. A big thank you to all of you for liking my program. Each of the episodes are being watched by thousands of viewers. Subscription has gone up, but those of you who have not yet done so, please press the subscribe button and also the bell icon to get informed about the next episode at the earliest. And if you like the program, which you do, then press the like button. After all, it's your program. Let's just do it. Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, Adab, Vanakkam. This is Jagjit bringing you the weekly takes from New York today morning when the mercury reads 6 degrees Celsius and it is still cold here, even though spring has officially started with 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. We'll start today's episode with news of USA. After all, we need to know how effectively has our 46th President Joe Biden been performing during his initial months? Are we satisfied? Are we happy? How does the world view it? We'll talk about it. Then we move over to our segment of some little known but unknown facts about New York. From there, we talk about news of India and discuss some important news of the present week. And by the way, what happened to the so-called farmers' agitation? We'll take a look. We'll also talk about the investigations going on in Sushant Singh Rajput murder mystery. I had given it a gap of a few weeks just for the news to accumulate. And then we'll talk about the history of Kashmir, the heaven on earth. And last but not the least, we'll talk about the happenings within the Congress party and its future in the present circumstances. Let's begin. News of USA. Border crossings have surged since President Joe Biden was elected, and officials in the Texas last week expressed alarm at the number of migrants who tested positive for the coronavirus and who are being released into the United States. As per a survey carried out by Rasmussen Reports, majority of voters, 73%, are concerned about the current surge of migrants at the US-Mexico border and oppose plans reportedly being considered by Congress this week to offer amnesty to undocumented immigrants. In another news, hundreds of migrant children and teens traveling without their parents have been held in jail-like detention centers at the border for 10 days and longer. Under law, minors are only allowed to spend 72 hours, that is 3 days, in the detention centers, which are run by the Customs and Border Protection offices. But as of Thursday, more than 500 of the young migrants have spent more than 240 hours, more than 10 days, in the border facilities, according to the DHS documents. And in a health concern, the 78-year-old Commander-in-Chief Joe Biden has his hand on the railing when he tripped twice before falling over the third time as he climbed up the stairs of the idling aircraft at Joint Base Andrews. After recovering, Biden appeared to take a moment to dust off his knee before finally making his way to the top. And if viewers may recall, he once mocked former President Donald Trump after videos of his predecessor walking gingerly down a ramp at West Point went viral. He exclaimed, "Watch how I run up ramps," and he stumbles down the ramps. Okay, come on, Biden had said last September. It happens. It's karma. Meanwhile, the US government spent more than $5 trillion on unemployment benefits in the past 1 year, which is 9 times more than the amount spent during the Great Recession. The data from the US Department of Labor comes as weekly unemployment claims have continued to increase, with at least 770,000 first-time claims for unemployment benefits were reported by the Department of Labor last week. While the number of continuing claims for the week ending on March 6 reached 4,124,000, which is a very, very big number. Sharing with you 2 hilarious cartoons about Biden's COVID stimulus. Hope you like them. I loved them, and they are true. Outrage is growing amongst the Asian American community following a shooting spree at 3 Metro Atlanta spas that left 8 people, including 6 Asian women, dead within the span of 45 minutes last Tuesday. On the night of Tuesday, 16th March, a 21-year-old white man attacked 3 spas in the Metro Atlanta area, shooting and killing 8 people. 6 of the 8 victims were Korean American women. This attack is the worst possible outcome of the rise in coronavirus-driven anti-Asian hatred, another mass shooting rooted in white supremacy and goaded by politicians' xenophobic rhetoric. Still, local police are not categorizing this mass shooting as a hate crime, nor recognizing the significant role of both race and gender in shaping of this tragedy. But we must be clear, 7 of the 8 victims were women, 6 of the 8 victims were Asian American women. The country must rise together as one nation with one voice against such hate crimes. And that is why I had long back said, all lives matter. On the international front, Russian President Vladimir Putin has reacted to Joe Biden calling him a killer by challenging Biden to take part in a conversation with him broadcast live online. It would be very interesting to watch if it ever happens. So much for it. Meanwhile, as the world watches, it is 10 years into the Syrian civil war. So many lives, each one precious, has been lost, and there seems to be no end to it. Will the so-called progressive governments the world over think and act, or is it just a rhetoric? The same rhetoric while hoarding the vaccines and not giving it to the poorer countries? Shame on such progressive rhetoric. Shame on those countries. Now, moving over to our section of some interesting known but unknown facts about New York. Did you know that Adirondack Park in New York is larger than any other national park in the United States? Yes, outside of Alaska, of course. The park covers an area of 28 million acres. It's huge. Did you know that New York State measures about 1% only of the landmass of the United States? However, it contributes almost 8% to the country's GDP. That is fantastic. अब चले भारत की ओर. पहले कुछ तथ्य. With a wealth of rupees 32,400 crores, Smita V. Krishna, 69, is the richest woman in India. And with a wealth of 31,600 crores, an increase of 71%, Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, 67, is the richest self-made woman and is within arm's reach of becoming the richest woman in the country. More than 70% of the billionaires in India are self-made. 17 of the billionaires who are self-made are also below 40 years of age. No billionaire is in MP, Assam and the northeast states and Goa. 16 billionaires in the small state of Kerala. 11 billionaires are also member of parliaments. 1 billionaire MP from JDU, 1 billionaire MP from SP, 4 billionaire MPs from Indian National Congress and 5 billionaire MPs from BJP. और पप्पू की जानकारी के लिए ये सभी मोदी के मित्र नहीं हैं। और अब मुख्य समाचार। 5 राज्यों में चुनाव होने हैं, केरल, बंगाल, असम, तमिलनाडु और पुदुचेरी। महान राजनीतिज्ञ और ज्ञाता शरद पवार का कहना है कि बीजेपी इन चुनावों में बुरी तरह से हारेगी, जिससे देश की राजनीति को एक नई दिशा मिलेगी। पर खबरों के मुताबिक बंगाल और असम में बीजेपी चुनाव जीत रही है और मुख्य धारा की पार्टियों का सुपड़ा साफ होने वाला है। यही सच है। In another news, top American lawmakers have welcomed Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's first visit to India, the US strategic partner, as they highlighted the importance of the bilateral ties which are critical for the security and stability in the Indo-Pacific amidst Chinese aggression. The importance of the might and economic power of India is being recognized the world over, and it's a matter of joy and pride for us Indians. अब अपडेट बिहार के लाल सुशांत सिंह राजपूत हत्याकांड का। The Narcotics Control Bureau is tightening its knot with raids and arrests on several highly connected people. Close on the heels is the arrest of Sachin Waze and the transfer of Mumbai Police Commissioner Paramveer Singh in the aftermath of inquiry into the car laden with gelatin sticks parked outside Mukesh Ambani's house. Upon investigation by the NIA, the National Investigative Agency, it was found that the bomb was planted by the infamous Sachin Waje, who was himself the investigating officer. He was in possession of several Mercedes cars and a lot of wealth. After the transfer of the Mumbai Police Commissioner, he has come out today itself with a shocking letter to the Chief Minister leaked to the press, in which he has claimed that Sachin Waje and others were ordered by the Home Minister to extort and collect about 100 crores every month. It is shocking but means trouble for the government, which had in a way authorized police to act as gangsters if the revelation is true. It is now being suspected that the murder of Sushant also involved such extortion methodology. Truth will come to light. देर है पर अंधेर नहीं है। अब चलें धरती के स्वर्ग कश्मीर की ओर। पिछले एपिसोड्स में हमने चर्चा किया था देवाधिदेव महादेव का। आज के एपिसोड में हम चर्चा करेंगे कुछ प्रमुख शैव संप्रदायों के बारे में। हर मत का उद्देश्य यही होता है कि मानव बंधनों से मुक्त हो और अज्ञान से छुटकारा पाए, वह अज्ञान जो मानव का समग्र विकास नहीं होने देता है। हमारी इच्छा है अविद्या या अंधकार से मुक्ति पाना, क्योंकि यह आत्मा के प्रकाश को अंधकार वृत्त किए रहती है। शैव मत के 4 संप्रदाय बताए गए हैं: शैव, पाशुपत, कालदमन या कालामुख और कापालिक। इसमें से 2 शिव के सौम्य रूप को स्वीकार करते हैं और 2 शिव के भयंकर या रुद्र रूप को पूजते हैं। इन्हीं के धार्मिक सिद्धांत और साहित्य को शैव सिद्धांत कहा जाता है। इनमें 2 वैदिक हैं और 2 अवैदिक। 11वीं शताब्दी में वीर शैव या लिंगायत संप्रदाय का उदय हुआ। इसका दार्शनिक आधार अद्वैतवाद या नॉन डुअलिज्म में है। लिंगायत और कापालिक संप्रदाय अपनी साधना में तंत्र का प्रयोग करते हैं। इनके आचार शिव के घोर रूप के समान होते हैं, जैसे मनुष्य के खप्पर के साथ खोपड़ी के साथ रखना, उसमें भोजन करना, शमशान में निवास करना, शव के भस्म को शरीर में लगाना, तंत्र विधि से पूजा का अनुष्ठान करना आदि। कालामुख साहित्य में यह कहा जाता है कि इससे हर प्रकार के लौकिक अलौकिक कामनाओं की पूर्ति होती है। धीरे धीरे यह मत शैव मत से दूर होता गया और शक्ति मत के करीब होता गया। पहले शैव मत में ही दो संप्रदाय थे, पाशुपत और आंगमिक। फिर इन्हीं के कई उप संप्रदाय हुए, पाशुपत मत, लकुलीश मत, कापालिक मत, नाथ संप्रदाय, गोरखपंथ, रसेश्वर मत। आगामिक शैव मत की प्रधान शाखाएं थी तमिल शैव, कश्मीर शैव और वीर शैव। शैव मत महाभारत और रामायण काल तक माहेश्वर संप्रदाय के नाम से जाना जाता था। सौम्य रूप की पूजा वैदिक रीति से होती थी और रुद्र रूप की पूजा अवैदिक तरीके से। सौम्य रूप में पूजन, आराधना, श्रवण, कीर्तन और वेदों में लिखित शिव मंत्रों द्वारा किया जाता है। ये शिव भक्त शिव तिलक लगाते हैं, शाकाहारी होते हैं। कापालिक लोग अवैदिक तरीके से शिव की आराधना करते हैं और अपने चिन्हों में कंठहार, हड्डियों की माला, लोहे के आभूषण और भस्म, यज्ञोपवीत और शिव के दिगंबर रूप में रहते हैं। इसमें कठोर अपरिग्रह संसार त्याग दिया जाता है। सिद्ध नागा साधु शिव के श्रद्धिशी समझे जाते हैं। इन्होंने शिव के समान ही काम वासना को विजित किया होता है। इनकी दृष्टि संसार के हर अच्छे बुरे वस्तु को एक ही भाव से देखती है। मृत भी इनके लिए समान है और जीवित भी। नग्न रहने के पीछे इनका यह सिद्धांत है कि शिव स्वयं दिगंबर हैं और आकाश या व्योम ही उनका वस्त्र है। देखने वाला संसार जो वासना और अज्ञानता से युक्त है, वह इस नग्नता में लज्जा देखता है। जब 6ठी शताब्दी में बौद्ध धर्म अपने पतन की पराकाष्ठा पर था और उसमें व्यभिचार अपनी चरम सीमा तक पहुंच गया था, तब शंकराचार्य ने इसे उखाड़ फेंकने का बीड़ा उठाया। उस समय यही नागा संप्रदाय उनकी सेना थी। नागा साधुओं की घोर भयंकर सेना पहले किसी गांव या क्षेत्र में पहुंचती थी और उस गांव के प्रमुख बौद्ध को अपने गुरु से शास्त्रार्थ करने के लिए ललकारती थी। इस भयंकर त्रिशूलधारी, भस्म, जटाढूंढधारी सेना को देखकर अहिंसक बौद्धों के होश उड़ जाते थे और गांव के गांव एक ही दिन में शरणागत हो जाते थे। उन्हें फिर से सनातन धर्म में लाया जाता था। उसके बाद फिर बौद्ध गुरुओं को शंकराचार्य वाद विवाद में पराजित करते थे। आज के लिए कश्मीर के इतिहास से इतना ही। अगले एपिसोड में हम चर्चा करेंगे कश्मीर के शिव मत। अब बात 135 साल पुरानी कांग्रेस पार्टी की, मेरी पार्टी की। 2019 के लोकसभा चुनावों में हार के बाद इसकी जिम्मेदारी लेते हुए पप्पू ने अध्यक्ष पद से इस्तीफा दे दिया था। इसके बाद सोनिया गांधी ने एक बार फिर से पार्टी के अंतरिम अध्यक्ष का पद संभाला। पप्पू ने अपने इस्तीफे के साथ साफ कर दिया था कि वो अब इस पद पर दोबारा नहीं आएंगे। यहां तक कि यह भी कहा गया कि उन्होंने पिंकी के नाम को भी किनारे कर दिया था। लेकिन अब गांधी परिवार, ख्याल रहे, नकली गांधी परिवार से कोई भी पार्टी का अध्यक्ष नहीं बनेगा, यह कहा गया था। Only recently, Pappu has termed the emergency imposed by former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi a mistake. Pappu further said, what happened during that period was wrong. Still, it was fundamentally different from the current scenario, as Congress at no point attempted to capture the country's institutional framework. I fail to understand how he views the present day government as capturing the institutional framework by making toilets for its citizens, by giving health insurance to all its citizens, by giving gas connection to families, by giving direct deposit of benefits into citizens' account. Is this the way you capture the institutional framework? Maybe he misunderstood and got confused with another statement prevalent in those times, emergency times and prior, that India is Indira, said by the then Congress President D.K. Barua. It is the institutional framework of the Congress party which is under siege by the family. one family, and you know whom I'm talking about. God bless the Congress, God bless the party, and God bless India. Get rid of them. आज के लिए इतना ही। अगले एपिसोड में हम चर्चा करेंगे कश्मीर के आगे के इतिहास की, कांग्रेस पार्टी के कहानी की, कांग्रेस पार्टी के भविष्य की। क्या होगा देश की सबसे पुरानी पार्टी का? जानेंगे भारत और अमेरिका के बनते बिगड़ते रिश्तों के बारे में। कई और तथ्यों के साथ फिर आऊंगा और मिल बैठकर चर्चा करेंगे आपके अपने प्रोग्राम वीकली टेक्स फ्रॉम न्यूयॉर्क में। हां, अगर आपको प्रोग्राम अच्छा लगा तो लाइक करें, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि अगले एपिसोड की सूचना आपको पहले मिल सके। तब तक के लिए जय हिंद, जय भारत।